everybody, in today's video I want to show you my version of a PVC paint rack. I use this rack to store all of my paint tubes, and I also use it to store all of my stencils. There is additional space on here to put rags and other random things. This version is on wheels, so I can move it around my studio, but you can totally make it without wheels and have it be stationary. If this is something you are interested in, keep watching and let's get started. So for this project, you will need 3/4 inch PVC pipes. The lengths are 10 28 inches, 12 10-inch pieces, 8 15-inch pieces, and 4 32-inch pieces. You will also need the PVC fittings. So there is 16 4-way tees, 4 elbow fittings. The other things you will need is spray paint. I used oil rubbed bronze and copper, hammer, sandpaper, clean rags, and a PVC cutter, which is optional but very helpful, and I would recommend it for sure. So the PVC pipe usually comes in 10 feet long pieces. So I got them to cut it down at the store to 6 feet and 4 feet. Each piece was cut down to that, just so it could fit in my vehicle. And then I used my PVC cutter at home to do the more specific lengths that I needed. Like I said, the paint that I used is oil rubbed bronze for the pipes. It's not quite black, and it just kind of has a nice look for it. I did take a look at the pure gold. I didn't really like it. And then these two copper ones from Krylon, they're both the same. They both had the same effect, so either one is fine. I don't know what the difference is between them. One says copper brilliance and one says copper metallic, but they seemed pretty much the same to me. Oh, and the oil rubbed bronze is from Rust-Oleum, and I find either Rust-Oleum or Krylon both work really well for spraying. I just use whichever color has the one I want at the time. Now, depending on the pipes that you got and how dirty they were, there may be more or less prep work for you to do. Mine got a little bit dusty because we had moved them. I had bought them and then we moved into a new house and a new studio, which I'm in now, and that's why I haven't had a lot of videos lately. But that is going to change because I just finished getting my studio set up, and so now I'm going to do some videos for you. Okay, back to this. So wipe them down with just a clean rag. Water is good enough. You don't need to worry about soap. Just get the dust off of them so that the paint can stick to them. You can sand them down, but I found that that was pretty much useless. I didn't need to sand them at all. It didn't really do anything. So it's up to you, but I didn't find it helped at all. So it can be a little awkward painting these just because they roll, because they're tubes. But I just kind of lined them all up, and I didn't want to waste paint, so I just lined them all up right beside each other, and then I just let that dry. So once one section was dry, I just rolled them so that some more white showed, and I could paint that, and I just kept rolling them so that I got all the white, and it actually was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And I just had to wait for a little bit till it was dry enough to roll them, and so that they weren't tacky to stick to each other or to stick to the board. I do just want to say to the people who have been following me, thank you. Number one, thank you. Number two, I'm so sorry that I haven't been able to get videos up. We moved, and my art studio was the last on my list, and I finally got it going, so there will be more videos soon. And there will be a lot more painting videos, and right now it's I just have a few DIY videos because I did do a lot for my house, some projects that I was working on, and for my art studio, so I thought I would do some videos of those and put those on my channel as well. But I am going to be doing more painting, so don't think that I'm decided to turn into a DIY channel. It's still a painting and art channel. This is the copper spray from Krylon, and it works really well for the fittings. I liked how it looked with the black or the oil rubbed bronze, and it's just the kind of was the look I wanted to go for. You could go for like a gold, or you could go for some kind of cool bright color. It's just what works in my studio and kind of my own preference. So you can change, obviously you can change all these spray paint colors to fit your own preference. And I just laid them on a board and I just kind of went to town spraying them, and then I waited till that part was dry and then I turned them all over and sprayed the other side. So these are the three-way fittings that I actually used for something else. I thought I was going to use these for this rack, but I changed my mind and used the four-way ones, but it works the same. The spray painting process is still the same. Now I'm inside my studio and I just want to talk to you a little bit about the PVC cutter. I don't think they're very expensive. They are around $20, $25. You can get different ones. I've had this one for a few years now and it works really well. And this way you can adjust if you find that you need to cut off a little bit. You can do it. You don't have to worry about going to the store, getting them to cut things. I mean, you can get the store to cut down to the lengths I gave you, but you may find that you want to cut off half an inch on all of the 10-inch pieces or the 28-inch pieces or whatever. And this is just a really nice tool to have, and I use it quite a bit. Because I do a lot with PVC pipe and I make my film setup with PVC pipe. So what you do is I just marked it with a white Sharpie there, and it works better when I'm trying to do it on camera there, but you hold it and then you clamp it and then you let it go and then you clamp it again, and so each time it clamps, it cuts through a little more. So it works really well, and my daughter's just helping me hold it there, but you don't need two people. It's just that I'm wanting to do it on the camera, and so I need to do it in midair. So that's why it looks like it's a little bit difficult, but it's very easy to do, and you can see how easy it cuts there. So it's up to you, but it is so helpful to have this, and you can just get them at home hardware stores and just ask for PVC cutters, and they do have a couple different brands, so try it out and see how you like it. Now what I used for the base is this furniture dolly. You can use it to move furniture, and I thought, oh, that will work for my base. There's a few different options you could do with this. I use zip ties. You can get fittings that can screw into the wood. I kind of didn't want to mess with all that. I wanted to try an easier way first, and I think this way works. And then I thought, well, if it doesn't work, then I'll try the more complicated way. But this way I tried first. And I use zip ties to hold it to the base, and it is actually quite sturdy. I pulled them really tight, and it works quite well, actually. I'm quite surprised. If you are doing something a little more stationary, then you may have some more options because you won't need to worry about wheels. And you may be able to set it just right on the floor depending on the type of floor you have. Or you could just use two plain wood boards to set it on there. You may find it very helpful to lay out on the floor all of your pipes and your fittings, and just kind of a flat version of the 3D version that you'll do. So I just put them there and then I just built up from the bottom, and so I'll show you pictures of that as I go. I do want to give a few hints about how to do this so that it'll be as easy as possible. And a very important thing to do, as you are putting each pipe in, each level, hammer them in on each side, on each end, on the top, on the bottom. Use the hammer and they will fit much better and they will be more sturdy, and it just makes it so that it doesn't wobble. Obviously, if it's more sturdy, it's not going to wobble. And it will maybe chip off some of that paint, but I mean, to me, that just adds to it. And I actually took some of my acrylic copper paint out of a tube, and I just kind of painted over anything that looked really bad. So another thing is, I kind of mentioned it before, build up. So don't put it together and then try to place it on the base. Secure the bottom to the base and then build up from there. If you are having trouble and you're finding it really wobbly, it could be because you're not hammering it in enough. And that really makes a big difference because I did put it together and I didn't really hammer it, and then I used the hammer and it worked a lot better. The other thing is when you put items on it, it will also help to make it sturdy. And so don't worry if it does lean a little bit. That's not a big deal. The main thing is to just get the pipes in the fittings as snug as possible. Now, if you're doing what I'm doing, these are the different kind of hooks I used. And I got these clips at IKEA. I got over 200 of them. They're the Rick Tig. There's 24 in a pack. They have the clips and they have little hooks, little S hooks as well. So that's what actually clips onto the paint tubes. And then to put those onto the pipes, you can use, whatever works. I found the dollar store had some good selection, so I got these shower hooks, and that's what I used. And then you can use S hooks if you can find enough of them that aren't too expensive. Everything that I found was way too expensive for just plain S hooks, but those would work really well. I also found ornament hooks from the dollar store, and those would work, but I think they were a little bit too flimsy. So the best thing I found was these shower hooks here, these metal shower curtain hooks, and they were from the dollar store, and I bought a bunch of those. And then I just put the clips from IKEA right on them, and it works quite well. And here it is, all finished. I am very happy with it. It is really convenient. I find it really convenient. It's really easy to take the paint tubes off and on the rack. You don't have to fiddle around with a bunch of things. And the stencils are great. That is such a bonus that I can have my stencils there. And yeah, so if you try this, definitely let me know in the comments how you like it. And thank you so much for watching.